So if you have heard of Gemini CLI, it basically is an AI agent that completely transforms your terminal experience. So if you're a developer, you don't need to switch context when you're working on a project. Now, most recently, Gemini CLI got updated and they have introduced a new experimental feature called Agent Skills. In this video, I want to talk about what Gemini CLI Agent Skills are, how can one get that activated within Gemini CLI, and how can you build your own agent pretty quickly. So I'm on their documentation site where they clearly define what agent skills are. We will go through together how to activate this, so don't worry about it. But you can clearly see here that agent skills allow you to extend Gemini CLI with specialized expertise. And this is built on the open standard from Anthropic, which is the agent skills, right? Now, one of the coolest thing I love about this is once you have created a skill, Gemini can autonomously decide when to employ that skill based on your request and the skills description. I think this is pretty cool. Once you've developed like multiple skills, Gemini is going to get many more superpowers, right? So what we will do now is we will actually get into the terminal and we will build a skill right from the scratch so that you can get to see how easy and how quick it is to build these kind of skills. All right. So with that, let's get into our terminal. So because agent skill is an experimental feature, it must be enabled in the settings and it's not directly available in the default main stable release, right? So to use agent skills, like you're going to do this install with the CLI preview. So I'm going to give this command and it's going to run this pretty quickly. And once it is done, then we are going to invoke a Gemini using the Gemini command. All right. So we'll give it a second for it to complete. All right, so it has completed the install. So now let's write Gemini. Now, just typing Gemini will invoke the Gemini CLI. So we're going to get into that pretty quickly. And then I will show you how to get to skills, right? So there you go. We have Gemini. So what you need to do is you need to type settings. And this is where you will see that by default, the preview models or the preview features over here is disabled. So what we're going to do is we're just going to press enter. And now you can see that it has enabled, right? Now, once you're done with this, and you can also see what other things you want to change here, enable prompt completion, you can do that. There are a lot of interesting things that you might want to change here, right? So the format of the output is text or JSON. I would like to keep it as text. Do you want to hide the window title and stuff like that? So this is something pretty cool. If you want to just work on this and make your stuff more interesting, you're welcome to do that, right? Now, once you're done with this, then you press R and that way, you're going to exit from this and it is going to apply all the changes, right? So I'm now outside of this. And now when I go to settings, again, I should be able to find skills. You see there? So now I can see agent skills and now I'm going to press this to enable it. So first you need to enable the preview features and then you need to come back in settings and then you need to enable the agent skills as well. And then you press R again and then you will come out and that will apply the changes. So as soon as you're done with that, your agent skills are now enabled, right? Fastest way to check this is going to be just type skills and you will start seeing the command which goes along with skills. So you can just say that, okay, list all the skills that are available. And now you're seeing that there is 0 skill available because we have not created any, okay? So as next step, now that we have enabled the skills, we are going to create a couple of skills and see for ourselves, how they are, all right? So let's get into it. All right, so creation of skill is actually pretty simple. All it requires is a basic structure like this within a skills.md file, which will be within the root directory. And usually it is placed within .gemini skills folder, right? Which we will see very quickly. And this is a basic structure, right? So you name the skill, you give it a description, and then you basically provide some instructions. So for example, this is a example that has been given. The name of the skill is code reviewer. This is a description, and this is the prompt or the instruction that is being given to Gemini, right? So this becomes a skill. Now, for my example, what I'm going to do is I want to get a tech review news aggregated based on the URL that I'm giving to Gemini, right? So I want it to develop that kind of a skill. Within Gemini CLI, I can come and say that, hey, give me all the tech related news from wired.com, right? And then I don't need to code anything. I don't need to tell it anything else. It'll go to that website, scrape everything and come back with a response, right? So that will be a skill which is reusable. So that's what we're going to do, okay? So keeping that in mind, what we will do is we will go into Gemini, we will go into Cloud Shell. And here you see I've already created that skill and this is the skill.md file. And that the structure that I followed is exactly similar to what we discussed, right? So I've given it a name, fetches and summarizes the latest tech news related to a specific website. It will ask the user for a URL, and then please provide the URL. And then once the user provides the URL, it will go figure out using the web fetch tool and come back with some main news, right? So this is a skill that I've used, right? So now that I've done this, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to Gemini and I'm going to type Gemini again. Oops. I'm going to type Gemini again. And then first of all, we'll activate the skill and then we will see the skill in action. Okay. All right. So now we are in Gemini CLI, and in order to activate the skill, all you need to do is send a command like this, activate skill and name of the skill that you already have. And it says that, hey, you're about to enable this specialized skill. This is what it's going to do. I'm going to say, okay, go ahead and do it. And this is the beauty of agentic AI within your terminal, right? It is doing this. So now, it's activated and it's asking me exactly what we had thought, right? So I'm just going to take the wired.com and then I'm just going to say, okay, go ahead and do this for me. So now it is going to do the fetch and it's looking into the instructions as we had as part of the skill, right? And then it is constructing an answer for us, right? So it's already also telling us what it is doing. And there you go. It's very fast. I've summarized the main tech news articles. So you can see that it is like absolutely latest, right? So let's go to the website right now and see what is happening. And there you go. All of the things that you're seeing over here, right? So if you go back to your CLI, you're seeing all of those things which are mentioned over here, right? So this was it. We just created a quick skill for us and we used it right within the Gemini CLI. And I believe this is going to explode and this is going to become very powerful. One last thing that I wanted to show you guys was how Gemini CLI skills are going to be available and are available already in Gemini CLI extensions. So for example, I think I saw something which is really cool. So for example, this is Skill Porter, which basically converts all the Claude skills to Gemini skill extensions and vice versa, which is pretty fascinating, right? So I believe this is how, you're going to be able to potentially monetize. I don't know, probably, right? If you're able to create some very interesting skill, which can be used across the board, because remember, skills is more of a protocol, right? Which is going to be used across the board. Anthropic Claude obviously has skills, and now Gemini CLI has skills as an experimentation. I'm hoping that it becomes part of it. So I think it's a good idea for all of us to be aware of these things and learn as much as we can. And this would definitely be part of the overall agentic AI ecosystem. All right. So that is what I wanted to show you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, please do let me know in the comment section. And if you found any value in this video, please do hit that like button and please do subscribe and also share it with your friends. I'll highly appreciate it. Thank you very much for your time. I will see you in the next one.